Hello everyone, my name's Sam and welcome back to the Carcode YouTube channel. If you're new here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and turn on the post notification bell so you're notified every single time I upload a new video. Today, as you can see, I'm going to be doing a review on the all-new Volkswagen ID.Buzz. First of all, a huge thanks to Lancaster Volkswagen for making this video possible. It's really great that I get to review cars like this. I've put all their links in the description down below so you can go check them out. And this is the demonstrator, so if you were test driving one, this would be the one that you'd be test driving. So let's talk about the exterior design on the new ID.Buzz. Now you may be thinking, Sam, this looks a bit more like a van. It doesn't look as exciting as the press models. Well, that's because this is the life model and it's got the one colour paint scheme. Metallic colours are all £1,035, which for a car of this size, the mass, volume and shape of it, I don't think that's too bad. That's about average considering you normally spend around £700 on a normal car. That's not too bad. If you want it in candy white, you do have to pay for white on a van, believe it or not. It's £300, but I do think it looks really great, especially if you have the popper colour in the interior. I think the white looks really nice and that's £300, which isn't too bad. Now, the problem comes if you want your two-tone amazing paintwork scheme, which looks incredible, but it is going to cost you £2,790. So it's not cheap whatsoever. It can also add the delivery time. It can add on up to 11 months wait time just to have that two-tone paint scheme. So you've got a question, is it really worth it? Even though it looks so great, it's going to add almost a year to your delivery time. So if the best part of £3,000 and the best part of a year doesn't sound like an option, what are the other options? Well, your metallic paintwork is £1,035. This one is a Starlight Blue metallic, which is a very dark blue. It's not quite the Atlantic blue, it's darker than that and it's got more of a purpley tinge. It's almost the sort of purple of the Scirocco. It's a nice colour, but I don't really think it suits the car that much. Neither do I think the mono silver, which is standard, suits it too much. I like the more funky colours. So you have energetic orange, you've got the bay leaf green metallic, and you've also got lime yellow metallic, which I think all look great. If you do want this two-tone though, I'm sure you could get it wrapped. I'm sure you could get it in candy white, which is £300, and wrap the bottom section of the car, or you could get it in your favourite metallic, so like this one, and then get the top section wrapped in white, and I think that would be a good option. So then let's talk about your alloy wheel choices on the ID.Buzz. These are the 20-inch Solner alloy wheels. They start 19 inches on the Life model with the Tilburg alloy wheels. You also have the option of the Venlo alloy wheels, which are £60 option, which isn't too bad. They say black plastic trim. It's kind of hard to understand, but they do look better, I think, than the standard wheels, and they're £60 on Life. You can't actually get these Solner alloy wheels on Life anymore, but they are standard on the Style model. Then you can also go up to 21-inch alloy wheels for £515 on the Style model, and they are called the Bromberg alloy wheels, and they were standard on the first edition ID.Buzz. I'll move on to the first edition in a little bit. It's been discontinued from factory, so you can't order the first edition anymore, but there will be some demonstrator first editions out and some nearly new as well. So then let's take the ID.Buzz for a drive. You've got your gear selector on here. So all models are rear wheel drive. They're all on the MEB platform, and it's the same motor system as the ID.4 Pro Performance. That means 0 to 60 in around 9.9 seconds. It picks up pretty well, smooth. The driving position, everyone says it's high up, but it's truly high up. It is like driving a normal transporter. I've driven a few T6s and it feels a very similar driving position to those. I think the great thing about this is the actual width of the car isn't massively bigger than a normal vehicle, so it doesn't feel too massive to drive. It's the length, and this is a short wheelbase one. We're going to get a longer one later on this year with 7 seats, and this is just the 5-seat model at the moment. Obviously the original buses were also rear wheel drive. It's harking back again to its roots, isn't it? It's lovely to drive. It feels like not much else on the road, to be honest. For its price point, you can get much more premium cars with better infotainment systems. I think there's something about driving a big car as well. It does make you feel more safe. The visibility, absolutely excellent. Lovely day for this, and I want to say thanks again to Lancaster Volkswagen for making this video possible. So let's talk about charging the ID.Buzz. You've got AC and DC type charging ports. It can go in DC up to 170 kilowatts, which means you can have a fast charge in around half an hour, which is really good. Normal 7 kilowatt charging, which you get at home, will take 12 hours 15 minutes or overnight. It's saying 45% and 70 miles at the moment, which is not too great, but obviously it's all dependent on how people have driven it. It's now saying 38%, 73 miles, so let's do a bit of quick maths. So that's like saying it'll be like 200-mile range, which isn't bad actually. The official is 253. Now the ID.4 Pro Performance is actually also available in 4Motion with the same output, but unfortunately this is not yet. That'll be on the GTX model that comes out later this year. So then, what is it like for the driver? Well, you've got this screen here, which is tilted towards the passenger, which is one of my pet hates. I really don't like it. Your steering wheel is now synthetic leather. It feels quite similar, but I do worry how this will hold up over time. Same small digital dials that you get on the ID.3, 4, 5. The screen, it does let it down, and so many people have said this, so it's a shame. They haven't brought back physical buttons either. To get climate, you have to press this, which to be fair, it's not a huge problem because you can just do that and the air comes on straight away. And you can like change the temperature like this and hold it down and it'll go to high. But, oh, there we go. But it just doesn't feel that good. So like your heated steering wheel is actually on the screen and not on the steering wheel, which is a bit annoying. Not a fan of that. I'll just pop the rear camera on so you can see that. So there's your rear view camera. Great to have. 360-degree sensors as well, standard. So it's all really useful and very much needed on a car of this size, I think. Especially, like I say, it's a bit expensive, and those expensive wheels and paint options, you don't want to be damaging this Buzz. Got these captain style armrests on all that you can adjust to where you want them. Very comfortable to sort of, they extend out a long way, whereas the normal ones just sort of hide there. So that is really nice. On the comfort seat and on the styler standard, you get armrests on both sides, which is quite nice. But you've got this section padded here anyway, so it's quite nice. I don't find myself normally leaning on two things, but you can do anyway without having to have the extra armrest. You've got a lovely light headlining, it's standard. Sunroof's not an option yet, which is a little bit weird. I feel like that will come soon because it definitely would just make the car, I think. Overall, interior quality, it's okay. It's not the best. Under here, they've fixed this. Mostly the ID.5, I noticed. This bit was really flimsy under here, but it's all really good quality on here. I really love the wireless charging bay as well for the phone. It just makes sense to slide the phone in rather than have one that's like this way. You've also got these cup holders here, and you've got what Volkswagen call the Buzz box. This comes in the Comfort Package Plus. That also comes with a few other things like the board in the boot. So you just push that and it comes out and you can put whatever in there. So pretty cool. You've also got the little ice scraper and the bottle opener as well, like you've got on the Mark V Golf, and also on the Scirocco's you've got those as well. So quite handy to have. Nice little features there on the Buzz if you can get the back in. There. Yeah, it's definitely my favourite ID car. I just wish that the screen was facing towards me rather than towards the passenger. It seems like so many cars now are just forgetting about the consumer, basically. It's a huge car. You've got the sliding doors and the windows are tinted as standard, which look excellent. Now, a lot of people have not been a huge fan of these graphics here, but I personally think they look great. They just add a bit of extra design, make it look less van-like. They just add something to the car. You've also got these clear tail lamps as well, which I'm loving. So many manufacturers bringing clear tail lamps in as well. It's slightly different with the IQ lighting, but both look really great. On the Life, these sections light up, but this middle section doesn't, whereas on the IQ models, that lights up as well. I'll show you the boot now. This is where the ID.Buzz really comes in and has a real USP. It's got a 1,121 litre boot, which is huge. Most cars I review have got a 200 to 600 litre boot, so this is absolutely massive. Now you get this extra board as well in the Comfort Package Plus. That is £675 option. To be honest, I would go for the style trim, even though it's like £4,000 more expensive. It is worth it in my opinion, because you get the IQ lights, you get this, you get better seats. If you added it all on Life, I think it would get to that price anyway. You don't get electric tailgate either on the Life, but to be honest, with the strap and pulling it down, it's not as heavy as you'd actually think. If you would like a powered tailgate on the Life model, it's a £265 option, which I don't think is terrible, especially for such a big car. I think I'd definitely go for that option. If you would like your rear passengers to feel like VIPs, very important passengers, you might want the electric sliding doors. Now that is in the Opening and Closing Package Plus, and that's £1,055 option, but you can only opt for it on the style, you can't opt for it on the Life. So unfortunately, if you go for a Life model, you can't have electric sliding doors. So it does feel a little bit more like a van rather than a limousine. Are your rear passengers going to be happy in the ID.Buzz? Well, yeah, I think they will be. These seats are pretty comfortable anyway. You can get them in the Comfort Package Plus. You can get comfort seats on either side, which would be probably a little better because they're not as comfortable as the front seats, but that's quite normal. Middle seat is a proper seat, you'll be pleased to know, but it is quite firm, not the most comfortable seat. I'll go to this seat as well. You can recline them as well. They come as standard, so you can get a nice seating position. I know when I was younger, I preferred to sit a bit more upright, and if your kids get car sick, it's better. You do also get your tray tables as standard, which is really good. They feel flimsier though. My dad had them on his Tiguan and they felt a bit better, and they also had a pull-out cup holder instead of this hole. So that would have been nice, but they do actually feel like not very strong, but it is still nice to have there. And you've also got your classic grab handles. Unfortunately, they are in the cheap feeling silicone thing, rather than a nice leather or leatherette. If you're looking for the extra 2 seats back there, I'm sorry, but you're not going to find them till later on this year. There'll be a long wheelbase ID.Buzz and we'll see those then. But for now, it is just strictly a 5-seater with a huge amount of rear luggage space instead. 2 sets of ISOFIX points. What else could you want, really? No armrest. No armrest in the back. No. So let's get to the pricing of the ID.Buzz. So the Life starts from just under £59,000 and the style from just under £64,000. It's not going to suit everyone with the expensive price and the expensive options, but this is just a Life model. And remember, the 7 seats are coming very soon, as is the GTX model with 4-wheel drive. So it's going to get really exciting. It's very new in the way of what it is. There's not many rivals. Ford is going to come out with the Tourneo later on this year. That'll be electric as well, so that's going to be sort of a rival. Other than the infotainment issues and a few other things and the expensive price, I do think it's a really good car. I think this is something in its own category, and that's why it's been really well acclaimed by people. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next review.